Hey everybody, ronarray here, and this is my 0 to Hero Gauntlet Edition video. Hope it will go smooth. Also, this is the most edited video I have worked on so far. Hope you will like the journey together with all the visuals. I decided to go fun approach and pick my build while run along based on the drops, so it's not really meta or very popular in hardcore solo style form. I also never bothered to prepare or test run, such as the way of the samurai, right? Let's go in blindfolded. Well, my first character has been a shadow, and he managed to survive for some time. Judging by how rapidly people have been dying, yeah, we could form a whole community of people Maven diffed at Epilogue. Don't worry, his younger brother avenged him right afterwards. Who could have expected Maven at Epilogue, right? Now, since we are not going that really meta path, I went for a kind of wonky skill, Ethereal Nose. Unexpected, right? It was doing the job okay, I couldn't complain at the moment. At the Hail Rig there were no crazy shenanigans, except there were 2 of them! It all went smoothly though, and we got our Quicksilver Flask and Botham Jewelry. After that, all went much easier, and our next goal was killing Brutus. For that I picked the Split Arrow and Puncture to counter Brutus running around, because Bleed works very good against him. Preparing for future rips, I also started building up the town. Since the transfer between characters, I assumed that would be good. Best decision of the day. Now the Epilogue fight was super easy. It wasn't affected by any creeper shenanigans and the fight was breezed. Wait, what the hell is this?
NANI?
Lies and deception. Such trickery didn't help you, Brutus, but don't mess with the little shadow. The road to Marvel was quick and easy to you, but the Marvel fight itself not so much. In the second phase she was summoning big exploding sirens, and she was also dealing cold damage.
Surprise, surprise!
Sadly, Freeze was how the Shadow number 3 met his untimely end, cold and all alone.
Oh shit, here we go again.
And I made the Shadow, killed the Epilogue, took the Caustic Aura with the chance to poison, got the Volley support, destroyed everything on the way, high div Brutus, and then dropped Quill Rain. Wait, what?
Huh?
This changed literally everything. He dropped a new and shiny Quill Rain, the ball that works so great for Toxic Rain builds, which I sadly was not really planning on doing in the Gauntlet, up until that moment. I repicked to the Toxic Rain, and obviously I stayed at Shadow to honor the fallen Shadow family. Marvel fight went very well after this, and I literally destroyed her.
Revenge!
Well, it's time to properly invest into Chaos Dingy. Gotta catch all the bandits now.
Yes.
Creating was unimpressive, despite what the game was telling me. Definitely Orc was definitely not Orc, but he didn't do much regardless. And we sided with Zalira because plus 15 to all elemental resistances is crazy good when you need everything kept early on. The next big fight is Val over Soul.
What the hell is even that?
Well, if you need to show someone what tuned down peak PoE is, just show them this fight. So much stuff on the screen, and it's still an act. Very amazing experience. Got Grace, and since I'm playing Toxic Rain, I need a lot of skill effect duration, so the pods would stay for longer and would deal more damage together. Since we had no access to more duration support in earlier acts, that's kinda sad. Well, time to do the library quest. It's perfect.
Nice.
Act 3 got some support from Act 4 Piety, but Piety was still garbage. I was concerned about the Dominus a little bit, as a ranged character, and the Elder Circles were cool looking but not really dangerous, like at all. Smooth sales so far. What was done to Act 4 bosses is something else. Denray got a temporal bubble. If not for Toxic Rain, it would have been a huge issue, considering 5 projectiles that she spits non-stop. It was an easy ride for me though, because I could just attack her through the bubble. Malachi the Nightmare finally lives up to his name.
What is that?
With the Maven beams that inflict your character with Maven punishment, the debuff that disables all recovery, and all this in Act 4 of the campaign. A cool trick was trying to dodge it, and if you failed,
Nope.
there's always a disconnect button. Slowly but surely the Toxic Rain Trickster prevailed. And the first ascendancy that I took was Polymath, because Polymath can give us a lot of additional damage, and pods with falling definitely need that damage. Moving on to the next act. As always, got some levels in the Chamber of Innocence, which is the best place to catch up on levels from hardcore.
Do it.
The Innocence fight was nothing special at all. I haven't even noticed any shenanigans, which honestly caught me completely off guard. I expected some 3 carry again, like with Brutus, but there was none at all. Kitava got some floating paddles and the heart had beams?
Nani?
Looks terrifying, but trust me, it looks much scarier than it hits. At least, if you're never hit by it. With Act 5 Kitava down, we're now ready to move on to the second part of the acts. The main challenge here will be capping chaos resistance because monsters receive 30% of physical damage as extra chaos. Fortunately, shadows got a lot of chaos resistance in their part of the tree, and it's much easier to cap. Now that all resistances are fixed, let's proceed. Chevron was a fun fight. Usually she poses no threat, but this time she was aided by Azatl corrupted blood beams. The theme of the boss seems a bit off. Well, I quickly knocked out of the fight, got corrupted blood immunity, and bam, she's dead.
Nice.
Considering how in Gauntlet small arenas seems to be very dangerous, I was very cautious about the breaking fight, but I had an upper hand.
Call an ambulance! But not for me!
And why? Because Toxic Rain pods overlap a huge dude like breaking, so he dies like really fast. In the next act I found some pretty sick boots and body armor. With that I felt very confident to attempt the cruel labyrinth. To no one's surprise, Isara went down pretty easily, the font awaited, and what? The Toxic Rain of Withering. Exactly what I needed. I could use it with my ballistas and apply wizard stacks that increase chaos damage taken by enemies. A welcome find. Grust was weak, as was a bear mob, but now we can properly use our Pantheon. Anticipating the Aracali fight to be challenging, I went to check on my farm wild dudes and run some heists. Nothing special dropped, so, well, maybe next time. The Aracali fight, after all preparation, felt a bit underwhelming. There were not a lot of shenanigans, she was just spamming her lines constantly, and with capped chaos resistances, she barely scratched me. Well, better safe than sorry.
Easy!
As I have learned just now, I'm not afraid of chaos damage like at all, at least for now. So I went to the Daedra cesspool right away. I hate that boss, with a lot of passion. Killing her felt very good. Now off we go to fight the guys that guard our health and mana. Got both orbs and jumped straight to the fight. One down and... excuse me, who are you? Come on ladies, is this all the trickery you came up with? Just summon the guards that I killed already? Well, such. By moving on to the next act, we finally met June, and I won't lie, I really need some minus mana rings. Sadly, Princess Elrion is sitting in the head of research as always. Stam and Veiled were useful anyway. On my way to the next boss fight, I dropped... wait, how many are there? Statistically speaking, one of those squares is supposed to be good, right?
Nice.
Yeah, this one will probably work. Now people told me that Trinity was not to be underestimated. I didn't know how bad it would be, but well, it was called the hardest boss of all Gauntlet campaign. So I buffed literally everything I could. Capped suppression, chaos, even got determination in. There was nothing I could improve further without staying for 10 more levels, which would be a little absurd.
Yes.
Bring it on. Oh, just why it's always Maven? The rumors were true. The Dejan paddles caught me completely off guard, and in a couple of casts the arena was completely ruined. The wise way would be to restart the whole fight, except this is not the way of the samurai, right? If I die here, I die with honor, to the battle. Many close calls and disconnects later, the Vile Trinity was completely defeated. Now that the worst thing is behind us, time to evict Kitava from the rooftop, and I doubt he paid rent. Before we did that, I decided to get some gear on heist. After Kitava is dead, we would lose 30 resistances again, and to fix that I needed gear. This time heist delivered. Just look at that! A 6 link and we haven't even finished acts. Corrupted with a great start, but the colors are completely off. Let's put my ballistas in there and we will figure something out with the last link later. After that the Merc Club went kinda smooth. Now time to really evict Kitava once and for all. Surprisingly, he was doing the same stuff as in the previous version, so there were no surprises at all. You needed to come up with a new tricks, old guy. With Kitava down, the campaign is officially over. Let's see what the guaranteed mystery box has in store for us. And... Blood Tender's footprints? Is the game trying to tell me something? Like death is looming behind my back and my shadow is one step in the grave? Oh, it's probably nothing. just about though. Fixing resistances took some preparation, but now all geared up, the last shadow is ready to set out for the new adventure. Just 2 maps. So the first map that Shadow completed was Stitch. It went very well, thanks to the fact that we lost some of the unhinged buff that end of the campaign had. Dropped a new cool quiver, changed the gloves, unveiled a lot of useful stuff, still no mana, changed the gloves again. At one point I found a vial area that was giving bonus experience, and whoa, it looked scary. The first June safe house, now that's a milestone. Some months later I met Elrion finally, and he dropped Elrion jewelry. Please don't disappoint, please. Minimum mana for channeling? The same as minus mana for non-channeling. Yep, they're the same recipe now. Just exactly what I need. After some time I decided to go to a blighted map too. First of all, farm some oils for the amulet anoint, and possibly get some gear upgrades and some currency too. Towers were doing the heavy lifting and I just needed to loot when the map was finished. Now would you look at that? A very good amulet with stats, huge health and damage over time. Just perfect.
Nice.
Run some maps and hey, my first divine orb, finally. It's dropping even faster than the normal campaign.
Hello.
Met this girl Maven and now she's invited me for some coffee. Wouldn't say I enjoyed the process, but it was a cool first date. Well, the gauntlet has been fun, and I really enjoy it. Can't wait to see what else awaits this Shadow character. His toxic pots are strong and his future is very bright. But even if something will happen to Shadow, there is definitely going to be a second Sun project, which will be a second character attempt that I will base on the stuff that already dropped, because I have a lot of items, and the journeys always will be to be continued. So getting a little ahead, I wanted to also give a quick overview of my character during the gauntlet. So Quill Rain helped us a lot with our attack speed and definitely one of the best way to deliver Toxic Rain. I've been also using a pretty cool combination with Mana Forged Arrows and Frenzy here, because that combo can just generate Frenzy charges without any issues. I also dropped a 5 link that I'm using a 5 link with Ballista Totems, multiple totems, Void Manipulation and Toxic Rain. As a supportive skill I used Toxic Rain or Withering, because that way we can just apply Wither to enemies, which is pretty important that Solar Self found. I also use Molten Shell together with Automation and Grace as a main aura. On top of Grace I also use Clarity with Arrogant support and Determination to pretty much ensure that I have just enough armor. And talking about the three been mostly built around Suppress, so I went for the Suppress, I took Prevention and pretty much capped the Suppress through the Mage Bane, points here and Invitorate. Also I think the Thrill of Battle build absolutely amazing during that run. Together with Mana Mastery it's definitely worth the points. I also took Exceptional Performance for skill effect duration since it's important for pots. And here I took Atrophy together with a lot of Chaos Resistance, which is just amazing to cap it. So 3 points can give us about 40%. I also took Your Elemental Resistances cannot be lowered by curses, because I think for Soul Self Fountain, especially for Hardcore, it's pretty important. So at the end I had about 5200 life and about 300 shield. And as Ascendancy, I've been using Heartstopper. It's not really stable, but it's kinda nice. And one step ahead together with Poma. The last Ascendancy should be Swift Killer, but getting to the last Azara could be a little more complicated. And that's how my character ended up. I think it's been pretty strong and it's been very fun to play it. Let's see what will await it in the future. So that's been my 0 to Hero Gauntlet Journey video with my Toxic Rain Trickster. A pretty unusual build, but in the end it did an alright job and literally carried me through acts and up to red maps. It's been fun playing it. Thank you very much for watching, and feel free to subscribe for more ARPG content. See you next time. ronarray out.